And hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever the fuck you are in the world. Welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness, right across New York. Um, we find Maeve, Fionn, and Cinnamon Harris after they left Lucas and Garrett to their manyest chess match to see which one of them is better, or actually, which one of them doesn't lose 20 times in a row. Seems to be more the case when they were leaving. And they are walking, as they're walking away from the chessboard. Cinna's gaze kind of fell on the museum, and she looks over at Maeve. Hey, you were actually thinking about visiting Gerard, right? Ask him a few questions.
Oh, well, I mean, I figured it might be a good idea to make sure that my whole grasp of etiquette is up to snuff before we go.
Well, then why don't we see? I mean, it's Saturday. How much he's probably? I hope
Giant shrug.
I hope he is not working, and if he is, I think it's bad, and we would need to make him stop working.
No, I
So,
mean, you know better than I do.
yeah, sometimes we just need to drag him at the ears and just don't tell him that I said
Of
that.
course not.
I doubt he
I
would
heard
like that,
nothing.
but he he's the kind of person that from time to time needs to be kicked out of his well schedule, his his office and everything. So let's just see if he's around, and maybe he's just at home.
She'll noddle a bit and just kind of fall into step behind her. Well, alongside her.
Then it will lead the two of them up the stairs of the National History Museum, inside, and to the hallway where you can find both Gerard's office as well as the entrance to the Moon Bridge. She first stops at the office and just kind of silently lays an ear on the door to hear if there's anyone inside.
The door, as always, is soundproof.
Door.
And Maeve is actually going to deviate briefly and be like, "Oh God, too much coffee," and run off to the bathroom so she can investigate on her own initially.
And so I will she'll sigh and just then knock on the door.
That
Sorry, what was that?
was the sound of a buzzer.
Oh, okay. A buzzer as in the door open, door can be pushed open, or a buzzer as
Yes.
in you need to speak now.
No, the first one.
Okay. So she'll push the door open, make sure it doesn't close completely. She sighs. Does that work? Walks into the office. Um, Hello?
Hello.
Just wake up.
I am awake.
You look tired.
Well, yes.
Ah, my apologies. Morning, Claraya. Hi. Um, I actually, I don't know really why I came anymore, but I, I got my, I got my mission for my rite of passage.
I had heard.
I was wondering, do you have anyone you might know in those areas? Like anyone that you can message?
Of course I do.
Would you be willing to message them? I'm probably gonna head over there on Wednesday. I'm bringing probably Maeve and Gammet and Garrett along.
And what sort of message would that be? Saying that you are searching for members of Austere Howl would attract a lot of unwanted attention.
Probably just that we announce that we're coming over. I mean, I don't want to barge into other people's territory without announcing. Of course, we will properly introduce ourselves, but I think it couldn't hurt to send a message ahead.
Yes, that should be able. That should happen without a problem.
Garrett just mentioned something that kind of got me confused a little, I guess, but it makes sense. Like, is there a way for me to prove that I am of that house? And, well, I thought you know, and Mother Larissa knows, so maybe you could write a note that I could bring along, tell them this. I mean, they'd probably be able to sense that I'm a Silverfang right away, but
Yes, there is a way. It's, well, to actually prove it is a kind of different matter. However, seeing as where you were born, and, well,
yeah, I can show them the alleyway in which I was dumped, you mean. Apologies.
accepted. I was about to say by showing them your bearings, your blood. They would probably put one and one together.
As in, literally showing them my blood? Or,
No.
I'm sorry that I am not completely understanding what the fuck I need to do, with your permission.
Maeve will rap very lightly on the door as she starts to slip through. So there's fair warning that she is making her way in.
I meant your pure breed.
Well, thanks for the explanation. She actually frowns. Morning, Kilraya. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Can I be blunt about it?
This time.
When was the last fucking time you actually saw any kind of sunlight?
Today.
Like, not looking outside of your window. Like, have you actually been going outside lately?
Of course.
You need to. Can I request your presence for a picnic?
A picnic.
Why not? It's about lunchtime. I mean, I'm not quite sure how long Maeve is allowed to actually be inside. He has a question, and the weather is rather nice. We can take a blanket. We have coffee already. Grab some sandwiches and go out. Let's just.
In the middle of the snow that is currently plaguing New York City,
Well, you never heard of winter picnics?
I need to make a roll real fast to see if I can keep a straight face.
I mean, there are like fireplaces. Come on, humor us. That's not a straight face. Damn
that's
it.
not a straight face. That is not a straight face, Katie.
She definitely, like, you never heard of a snow picnic? Like, there's a brief little after which she kind of purses her lips and looks over there. Look away, don't make eye contact, sweet Jesus.
Well, the eye contact is being made from one side.
Nope. My, what nice shoes she wore today. She'll turn a little pink in the ears just because that was inappropriate.
Morning, Karaya.
A snow picnic.
A snow picnic. We'll have hot dogs and coffee. One of those fire baskets to keep ourselves warm. A snow picnic.
If I may, Morning Koraya, I'm sorry, the inconvenience is mostly on my part.
Empathy check.
On who?
On you both. He's trying to see if you're just pulling something out of your ass here just to get him away from.
Well, I'm not even going to try to roll. Maeve earnestly, like, the whole mention of Maeve probably needing to be outside seems honest enough, and she's obviously a little twitchy, having been inside even this long.
Manipulation, expression, pure breed. I'm so sad that I haven't got my persuasion activated for this. I'm not actually trying to pull anything. So,
A
what
lot of success.
is... what Suna is actually trying to show, and these are the things that she really like. She honestly, as a she honestly wants him to relax for a little, and this is what Gerard will notice. And she is indeed concerned about Maeve and her chimney that she has to pay, which are true, which she isn't showing is, well, other stuff.
Well then he'll get up. I wouldn't want to be the cause for someone breaking that chimney, would I? Then talk more outside. A snow picnic, however.
There's no picnic.
And Maeve will bob a quick curtsy and thanks and probably hurry ahead of the other two back outside, because it is cold enough that she would be breaking her ban by staying long enough to get warm.
Asida will look at your art and she'll smile. Come on, no picnic.
We will go outside to talk, not for a picnic.
He.
I can't.
You need to find a way. Because this is killing. And it's not killing you. Come on.
Indeed it is.
It's no picnic.
Why?
Because it's the only thing I can still do. I want to do so much more. I want to be here so much more. I can't. I know. But I can still help you and be there. And that's where I will always be. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even fucking matter if it hurts or not. I will not show anyone. I will be there. Whenever the fuck you need anyone, I will be there. You can trust me on that. We're gonna have this snow picnic and we're gonna have fun. That's what you fucking need. I'm not there. Apparently no one else is kicking you.
They try.
Come on. Let's go.
Very well.
Good. She'll actually grab him by the hand and kind of half starts pulling him along and make this no. It's not as well, but there is a smile appearing on her face. It may not reach entirely up to her eyes, but she's smiling again. She's kind of half pulling him along. Come on.
He'll kind of look at him being pulled along and then say, I can walk just fine on my own.
I know you can. You're not going fast enough. Like Maeve is already waiting. You don't want to leave her waiting now, do you? Come on, come on, come on. It's gonna be fun.
I can walk on my own.
Oh, you. Come on. Come on.
Yes, yes, I am following. However, I can walk on my own.
I'm letting go already. Look at me letting go. Woo, letting go. Hey, do you still have some blankets in your office?
I should.
Let me. You go. Let me look. I know the way outside. You go talk to Maeve. I'll look up the blankets. We'll have something warm to sit on.
Hold on. Could you wait outside for a second? I'll be right there.
Okay. Sure. Blankets.
If fine, I will take them if you need them too.
Well, they're handy for a snow picnic if you want to sit somewhere without your butt freezing off.
Yes, yes, I do realize.
Fine, I'll wait outside with Maeve.
Go get some food, whatever then.
We'll get something to eat. Anything you like?
I don't mind. You know what I like.
Okay, cool. See you in a bit. So, run back to Maeve.
And Morning Kill will close the door walk back to his desk, pull open a drawer, get out a little box, and make it disappear.
I'm throwing punches at the screen. I hate you. So badly.
You love me.
I said I will walk up to Maeve. Come on, we have to find something, some food, something warm, preferably. Do they still have those soup stands?
I think so. I haven't, even been across the street from Subs very much, so
Eh,
just kind of glance around, looking for, the normal dealio, the food trucks pulling around, probably different ones on different days. And kind of gesture to where a couple have pulled in because it's about that time.
Good. Okay. Do you have any money on you? Because I have some. I don't mind paying for it, but if we split up, we go faster. So.
Good point. No, I should have enough to get a little something.
Okay. And let's get soup. Let's get hot dogs. Let's get. Oh, if we can find something like hot chocolate and everything to go with coffee is always good. What else? What else? Pizza's warm.
Morning Kill eats hot dogs and pizza.
He does now.
She'll actually probably kind of sidle towards a truck with heroes because they are fucking delicious and warm.
Yeah. So then we'll scavenge for, well, as I said, soup, probably pizza, hot dogs.
That and Maeve does not have the fundage to buy much more than like one thing for each of them, so she's gonna go get them some heroes and toddle back over to wait for Senna to do all of her scampering between the various food trucks and stalls, and probably snicker at the enthusiasm.
She'll come back with like 2 or 3 plastic bags filled to the brim with, no, not plastic. Let's go for paper because Senna is actually rather environment friendly, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So
I will offer to take at least one just to make it a little easier to juggle.
She'll hand it over. Thanks. Oh, it's not bad.
And she'll take to kind of glancing around looking for seating areas, anything that might have been cleaned off since the snow.
Actually have like a fireplace close by. Not that close by. Close enough. It's keeping him so long.
You want me to go ahead and set things on the table and you can show him where we're seated?
No. I'm kind of afraid that he's not. I know he'll probably be here, but... Thanks. I will see. Let's just wait a little bit longer, and else
Okay.
maybe it's best that I go ahead and you wait for him. That way you guys can talk quietly.
She actually doesn't make much of a face. So just kind of blink. Okay.
Then I will still have that smile on her face.
That super fake smile.
Hey, with 3 successes, it's not super fake.
Well, hold on. Let's see how fake it is. Yeah, fake.
Yeah, it's fake. Fake.
That's okay. There's such a thing as tactically accepting, even if you notice. So she's gonna let that go for the moment. Well then, yeah, she'll stay near the steps to the museum and wait for Morning Kill to come out.
He'll come out a little bit later.
Okay, Cinna probably has gone ahead to make sure that everything is set up.
Yep. So Maeve will bob her head respectfully and kind of gesture with an arm in the direction that Cinna has headed off in.
Greetings, Miss Macphion.
Good afternoon, morning, Raya. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
It's okay. I should be used to it by now.
She pulls what amounts to like a mild pout.
He'll smirk a bit. Well then, shall we head off?
Sorry, I had to wait for Bob to turn off his alarm. It was really loud. So she'll nod a bit, and while walking in the direction, will walk at such a pace that he can either keep pace or even walk a half step ahead of her without losing the direction she's headed in. Definitely exhibiting something of a follower type mentality, even when she's leading.
Yeah, no, Morning Kill just kind of follows whichever direction Maeve points to.
If I may ask, Morning Kill, Raya, I'm planning to accompany Cinna on her trip, and while I like to think that I have a good grasp of etiquette, I would like to make sure that it's up to snuff before we get to where it could be a real social faux pas if I messed up.
Well, for starters, snickering in a conversation might be seen as rude.
She turns pink immediately. Yes. Sorry about that.
It's quite alright. As I said, I should be used to this by now.
Do I get...
I see you, son.
So she'll kind of cast a hopeful dance up and, do I get points for trying?
Everybody gets points for trying.
And she'll cheer up a bit.
You
It's
get more
like
points for succeeding, however.
Yeah. Normally, I do a little better than that. I wasn't ready for the whole snow picnic thing. That was a new one. I wasn't braced.
Aha. Actually, that's a very good advantage. Yeah.
Oh god. So yeah, she'll lead him over to the table, and ask if it's not inconvenient sometime. I figure that you are very well, very aware of proper etiquette and propriety and how to stand on ceremony when you need to make an impression. So if there's a chance that sometime before we leave, I could take lunch with you or dinner with you, something to give me a chance to make sure I'm properly brushed up. Yeah, she's gone to the mansion for dinner before. Doesn't seem like that weird a request.
Why me, per se? I'm quite sure your den mother, Mist Whisper, also knows a fair bit about this.
She understands the broad span, I'm sure, but she, in some ways, is still very much, and she'll kind of glance around, just to see how much company there is around them, how many people are on the sidewalk, because she doesn't want to misspeak out in public. She's not raised the way we are, and her life has been a simpler one, and I imagine there will be points where standing on traditional human ceremony is important.
Ah, yes. Well, I do understand. The the rules of the old ways are sometimes, if not often, forgotten. However, they can always be taught. So if you seek instructions, then yes, I could perhaps teach you a few things.
It would be very much appreciated, Ra, if only because, well, even if it was just to make sure that I had enough to do the job, but if necessary, I would certainly like to learn.
Excellent. Do you have any base, any groundwork?
Oh, well, it's silly. It seems silly to say, having grown up on a farm, but my parents are very old-timey as far as propriety goes, as far as etiquette goes. And then, well, I only had so many books, and one of them was kind of a courtly etiquette book, very outdated, but it's certainly something I've read plenty of times. I feel
Very
like I should
important.
have a solid grasp.
I have a very important question.
Blink.
Do you know how to eat?
I have not been to a formal dinner, but I have read about it, and I think I can pass. But that is why I had hoped that maybe we could take a meal at some point to make sure that I actually understand it properly.
He's gonna look at you with the I've read about the formal dinner and I hope I can pass kind of really look. Actually, okay.
she she kind of like twiddles her thumbs some. It's like, I know it's not the same as doing it, but it's the best I've got.
How do you start?
A formal dinner?
Yes.
Usually guided into the room by whatever staff is present, taken to a chair, offered a seat by having it pulled out, taking your seat once the host has sat. She's kind of glancing up here and there to see if he's like making faces.
Do you want me to roll as manipulation subterfuge dice, Bull?
I mean, if just I'm not planning to go hunting for it. She's just kind of glancing up to see if off glance it's or at a glance he's just sitting there cringing or something.
He's keeping a straight face.
And for lack of Katie actually knowing all the ins and outs, just because Katie has also only been to a formal dinner like once ever, I will just roll to see how accurately she can recall propriety. And I assume it's what, charisma etiquette or
If you
wit
want to
etiquette?
explain propriety, it'll be not actually with Bo, it'll be intelligence etiquette.
That's fine. It's about the same dice for all of them, so screw it. And may I spend a willpower because she is concentrating. Woohoo! And as per, well, I suppose as per usual, when she spends one, she doesn't need it. So 4 successes to kind of go over the key points of a formal dinner.
He'll nod in approval.
And she will smile Not like the outrageous ear-to-ear smile, but it's still a very vibrant sort of, if reserved, smile. Because Senpai noticed me.
So I believe out of character you sit when you're invited to sit.
This is probably right. Dude, I'm seriously racking my brain.
I am too, so
Whichever one of those is right, she says that one.
Saskia, what do you want to say? You're muted, sweetheart.
That's the emphatic mouthing of words, because it's funnier that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she'll go through all that and get her nod of approval and be smiling by the time they get over to the table where Cinna's at.
Yes, she actually has a picnic table that she wipes clean of most snow, and a couple of the packages that still has damp coming off of them because everything is warm, what we have, because it's still cold outside, is standing there. There's also a fire basket, and she's gonna say that there is also a guy who actually sells like dry wood that you can burn in those things. So she's trying to actually get it going right now. Fire.
And Maeve will make a point as she's stoking that up of sitting as far from it as she can.
Well, it's not gonna light up anyway. She
Still,
looked really bummed at this. Like, fuck, the wood is still damp. Damn it! Okay, do I have some piece of paper? And she just goes over her backpack that she always has with her. Just goes over it, looks at some old pictures that she actually has that are from the summer, Central Park. They're quite nice actually, but she's like, eh.
just pitches them in there.
Yeah.
Maeve tries not to die of shock. She tries really hard. She's also obviously getting twitchy because she can't help. She wants to, but she can't make a fire right now.
Those pictures are sure as hell burnable. Like, they're pretty pictures of the sept in like the late summer and everything. But as soon as she now tosses a match into it, it starts to burn up pretty fast, and then finally the wood catches on fire. There's of course smoke coming off because the wood is still a bit damp, but soon there is some warmth spreading from the fire basket, and Senna will smile contentedly. She looks at Morning Kill and Maeve. It's like, hey, did you bring the blankets? Morning Kill, Raya.
He seems to be carrying a package underneath his arm.
I've cleaned the picnic bench from the snow, so they will not be wet or anything. But let's place them down, and then we can have a sit, and we can actually eat.
Very well.
Let it go, let it go. Kind of hums as she places the blankets on the bench, and basically everybody can sit down. And she actually opens the packages. Like, well, they did not have any plates that we could have, but most of it is hand food anyway, like hot dog, pretzels, pizza. Sorry, if I had more time to prepare, I would have brought out the silverware.
And even the heroes will be wrapped up kind of taco style with foil. So it's all essentially finger food.
Yeah. He's had that before.
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
When there was really nothing else, and the foie gras was like not even there.
Not when Cinna took him out.
Sorry?
It's when you took him out for dates.
Them classy pizza joints.
Yeah. So, this is good. We could have done this earlier. Why haven't we never done this earlier? Like, honestly, this should be a thing for everybody. We should just make, like, big fireplace and have, like, a lot of food being brought out and everything. Especially when it's snowing. That would be amazing. Don't you think?
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Kind of like the barbecue.
Winter barbecue is not bad.
Well, I
Like-
do believe the Super Bowl is about to start, so the Bonar should have a concoction of their own during that time.
Oh? What's that? What's the Super Bowl?
I mean, Maeve's actually heard of the Super Bowl, so even she looks a little surprised, but she obviously doesn't know much about what's going on either.
And that's English. Super Bowl. Oh,
Some sort of sports event.
cool.
It's some big football thing. It's once a year when the whole family gets around and gets together and eats snacks, and all my uncles yell at the TV.
I always thought that the States weren't that much into football.
American football.
Oh,
Like giant men with helmets tackling each other all willy-nilly.
yeah, no, never mind. I keep messing up. Never mind. Yep. That football. Okay. Well, that could still be fun. Like, maybe we can help the Bonars a bit?
I bet you could get Emmett to put up a projector again.
That might be fun. Now we set up like places with barbecue stands around it, and like we could just have like this, the fire baskets, and then roast meat off it. That'd be great. Who would we need to talk to organize that?
Well, seeing as it's obviously a Bonar, right?
Mama L?
Seems very logical.
Okay. I don't know, maybe she likes it. It would be a nice gesture after all. We're all not Bonars. Actually, a lot of us aren't Bonars. We still are in their place. I mean, it would make sense that we, like, try to respect the things that they hold sacred. Right?
Or at least really enjoy doing.
Mm.
Of course. And there's this little smirk on his face, like, yes, sacred things to a Bonar. Well, that's his thoughts behind it. It's just, it's funny to him.
Hey. Then I actually notices his smirk, and there's this proud smile that actually comes out, that goes across her face before she manages to pull it in again. And just puts a hot dog in her mouth. She'll try not to show that she's actually rather proud that she made Morning Kill, at least smirk out of it. So,
And for the sake of note, Maeve is not going to start eating until Morning Kill does. Or until he gestures them to continue or something like that.
Morning Kill started.
Oh, yay! Heroes!
so Morning Kill, Raya, how are things going? Like, in the sept and everything. Tell us something.
Well, things are have cooled down a bit after the Magadon situation. However, it seems that the Weaver is trying to stir up something. It's been encroaching in the worm's territory.
Okay. Anything we can do to help?
How so?
Well, if I knew that, that would answer a lot of questions. I do believe the glasswalkers have a more clear view of this situation. From what I've heard from some of my own contacts, the worm seemed to send out forces into some Weaver locations, and then the Weaver sends out forces into the worm's locations. It's kind of a war between two cosmic forces.
Mm.
As long as they're not exactly targeting us, I'm fine with just watching the situation. However, the situation does need to be watched.
Are either of them really afforded territories, per se?
Somewhere along the middle.
Hmm.
How can we keep watch with that, actually?
Set up
That might
posts. Set up posts, talk with spirits, preferably those not aligned with either one of the two, perhaps just the city spirit. Not all city spirits are part of the Weaver, after all.
Mm.
I have done very little with the spirits within the city. Which ones are small and prevalent enough to have an eye everywhere without being so grandiose that they would be offended by being addressed?
Well, keeping an eye on things, I could think of a few of them not being offended. Actually, now that I've mentioned city spirits, a recent phenomena has produced a new spirit. It seems that there is now a spirit of Batman.
What?
Is there a way I can help? Like, would anything leak into the medium or something?
Perhaps it would be best to talk with Mr. Wilson.
I need to talk to him anyway. I want him to, like he said he would do it, but I want to make sure that he can be around when we're going.
Very smart.
Did you say Pokemon earlier, by the way?
No, Batman.
Oh, God. Sorry, it like fuzzed out halfway through the words, so I missed everything except the man at the end, and I was like, what?
No, a spirit of Batman has been created. Like actual legit Batman. Like, I'm Batman kind of deal.
God.
I don't even know how to feel about that.
The Umbra is a very strange place.
Oh, that much I understand. I clearly wasn't ready for that one.
Next thing we'll know, we'll have a spiritual representation of the Joker. Although that probably is, knowing the wild.
Oh dear.
Oh, see, that gives me ideas.
Oh God. So, how's your stuff doing? How's your stuff doing?
My stuff.
Stuff. Invention. You know?
Oh, the staff.
Stuff.
Yes. They're doing as well as they're doing as usual. They do miss someone though.
I mean, did you transfer one of them?
No.
Oh. Well, in that case, you should go home more often. Morning,
Oh,
Romeo.
it's not me.
Smith's gonna lean over. Pretty sure he's talking about you.
Blinks, and
And
this time
sit
she's coming
back up.
Pretty sure that's not the case.
Now that, he points at Lewis Strang, is also frowned upon in formal situation.
Well, luckily we're not in a formal situation then, Sina says, and she actually deliberately says this with her mouth full. And a huge fucking ass grin on her face.
Yep, Maeve, of course, turns briefly pink again and is studying her shoes once more.
Morning Hill will raise an eyebrow.
Oh, come on. It was a joke.
I'm very much aware of this.
Stop taking everything so serious then. It's meant to be fun.
Who says I'm taking anything seriously?
Ah, damn you! Then she'll just bend down, scoop some snow up from the ground, and just kind of towards Morning Kill, like not going full hand of snow in his face, but just making sure that it kind of hits him.
He'll move away his pizza.
Oh, damn it. You're not fun.
I hear that quite often. Excuse
Well,
me?
I can be like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I can't be like that. This is annoying and boring.
Eat pizza.
She'll just look at him for a few seconds and then grabs a slice of pizza as well and looks at the fire for a bit.
You said you would like to ask me some questions.
What are you talking to?
Both of you.
Well,
Well,
pretty much else.
any advice you can give us for the trip we're taking? I mean, I have a last-ditch idea if things don't go the way they need to, but any advice that could help us find what we need to find?
Be extremely on your toes, please. The old world is not as progressive as this one. especially not with, well, the tribe you are going to mine.
Yeah. Is it how I kind of cringe to use the term archaic, but how out of date, how out of time is it? I don't mean to say that in a mean way. Simply, I can't think of the appropriate word. How different is it, I should say?
Very. You are heading to England.
Rolls her eyes.
I mean, I've never been out of New York.
Well, you're heading towards the Lorne ladies of the Isles.
Is there a way we will be expected to dress that we need to keep in mind as we plan to go?
How do you feel like you should be dressed?
Well, I imagine if we're going into an actual sort of court, very formally. She tries not to do like the blatant look, but she kind of does glance at the fact that he's, wearing a three-piece suit just day to day. So,
Then I will actually kind of shift uncomfortably as she scratches the her collarbones, which actually has tattoos as well as in her neck. She's like, oh god.
ooh.
Well, Cinnamon, how does the British royalty dress?
One word, horrible. But I think I have some clothing that will probably fit you as well. I don't think we differ that much in sizes. I think I have some stuff that you can fit as well, but think decent. That's the key word. So ladies wear skirts, jackets, blouse, hats. That is if it's formal.
And just because, let me roll real fast. Okay, she doesn't completely lose her shit. So she's like, you mean those super fancy hats? Like in My Fair Lady hats?
Yeah, I'll show you the coronation of William and the wedding of William and what's his face again? Okay, there's several. That's formal. Then there's less formal. I guess I still have some old pictures on my computer that you can see where my parents had dinner parties. They sucked.
I would personally go with less formal. You're not there to actually visit a king's.
No.
Well, let me rectify that. You are there to visit a king's court, but you're not there to
I think
make. You're not there to swear loyalty or swear fealty.
planning on it. No. I think we could go with like pantaloons, not jeans. Pantaloons. Um, blouse, something like that. Yeah.
It also very much depends on, well, the tribes that you are going with. I imagine if Mr. Wilson does come along with you, he will be looked down upon. Simply for being part of the Glasswalkers.
Now, all this makes me wonder if I actually, like, me, I'd never really doubted that I would be part of the Silver Fangs, but God, how much of an issue all the etiquettes and all that was. Maybe I should just have chosen something different.
At the risk of being a little blunt, Raya, I am still learning the various connections between the tribes. Which tribes do the Silver Fangs favor?
As in tribal relations.
Well, yes. It's just that I've learned that there are tribes who have, well, enmity between them because of past wrongdoings, and no matter how distant that past is, it seems to affect how they treat each other even in current day. So I've been told that it's almost freakish that I have been mentored by an Uktena. But at the same time, it is good to be aware of those things and to know who will respond well to whom and who will not. So if it came down to whom it was good to bring or a poor idea to bring, understanding who the Silverfangs hold in high regard and low regard would make a difference.
Well, who are you currently planning on bringing along?
I think Emmett, or maybe Aaron if Emmett can't make it.
Yeah. Maeve, of course. And I know this is not probably the best decision, but for me it is the best decision. I'm planning to bring Garrett along if he can make it.
And Garrett has the sense to stay out of the way and to give good advice. I know that it's not the most hospitable place for him, but this sept was not especially well inclined to Shadow Lords either, and he has done very well and is very well liked.
You know, he could be outright refused to enter any land of theirs.
Into the sept? Or you mean into even the city?
No, the city should be fine. But they could outright refuse him to enter any cairn or sept just because of his tribe.
Well, he says he is also a recognized and officiated messenger among the Garou, and as
If he
such
does-
can usually gain entrance.
If he does carry a message.
I suppose if we wanted to be clever, you could always give him a message to carry. Even if it is only to inform them why we are there, it gives him an excuse to deliver that message.
I was thinking about that. However, such messages about Annunciation should come before the messenger actually arrives at the group.
We
However,
could always send him in ahead of us.
Good morning, Kilvera.
to send him into the Silver Fang territory, even as a messenger, I doubt it's the smartest thing to do.
I'm sure he would understand if he had to remain in the city.
Can't you, like, send word ahead that we're coming? give him the second note that I
Promising further detail and another message to be carried by a messenger.
said it would be bad if they learned about my house before I would arrive there. But if I am to learn about my lineage, they will have to know. And a recommendation from you and the fact that you agree that I am from this house, but that I did not do what they claim my house did, that might carry some impact. And if he carries that message,
And knowing them, it could very well be seen as fake because he's a Shadow Lord.
Morning, Karaya, do you think it's better if we don't take him along? I would like to take him along. If it's not him, then I will probably not take a third member, and I will only take Maeve and Emmet or Aaron.
Even in the outskirts or in the city, he'd be invaluable as an advisor. He's a clever man, and he's seen more of the world than we have.
I realize this.
With that, you can see Cinna kind of raising her eyebrows, wanting to say something.
But you asked me for tribal relationships. And this is how the tribal relationships are.
I understand. And I appreciate your expressing the severity of that feeling towards the Shadow Lords to me.
I could inform a few people that I trust.
That would be very welcomed.
Saying that he is permitted, request that he should accompany your group.
Mm-hmm.
Formally. Now, that might carry some more weight. It might not, however, I'll have a better shot at actually entering any sept.
I'll make sure that we'll have a speech ready if they try to deny him access.
I can always stay in the city with him.
I think that I know. Well, I think I know what to say. If they listen to it, that'll be second, but I think that I'll know what to say. Besides the fact, I know I'm just a cub, but, well, as you just said, I think my blood, at least, they will at least probably listen, right?
Because of your... Actually, they might. Because of your pure breed.
Would my backing her with my bloodline provide any further benefit, or would it harm her attempt?
The Fianna and the Silverfangs, especially on England, are very close allies. The Silverfangs deeply respect the Fianna for their ability to maintain their ancient culture. If you help her, even though you're not a member of the tribe, but you show their heritage and you carry that name, it might. However, then they might also inquire by the RI, and the RI might then personally come down and ask why you have not come to visit him.
She winces. I had always figured that as a last-ditch effort, I actually meant to ask you. Cinna told me that there's a chance that one of the few remaining members of her house may be in my uncle's court. if traditional means of trying to hunt down her bloodline lead to dead ends, I thought that I could ask to have an audience to make a visit, to present myself to the court, and that would give her a chance to accompany me and meet that member of her house.
Osterhal and the Fianna have been close allies. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them would be hiding among there. Now, granted, this isn't public knowledge. According to my contacts, it really should not be.
If I was not to bring it up, but was to make my visit and bring along Cinna as though she were a close friend to grant me support and remind me of home, it gives her a chance to move among the people there while I am doing whatever I must do, and potentially to make contact if she can find others of pure breeding.
You'll both be watched, simply because of your purity. But it has a chance.
I mean, admittedly, this is as a last-ditch effort if her previous efforts somehow fail to yield fruit, but hearing that it has a shot makes it a better backup plan.
Plus, Morning Chloraya. I think with our blood, we would be watched wherever we are. Even if it would be a Glasswalker set, we would still be watched.
It's true.
Perhaps. Oh, the tediousness of politics.
I think that's something all of us can agree on.
I'm sorry to fling you further into it, but until we have made names enough to have an influence that's even a portion of what you have, I'm afraid we have to go to someone who's more adept than we are.
You're not there because of me. And granted, I can grant you certain passages. Not many. Because this is your assignment, Senna.
I know. I would appreciate any help you can give, but I would totally understand if you cannot, and I would even understand if you will not. I am not planning to let everybody else do the work for me, but I understand that being what we are, connections, is part of who we are, and the ability to use those connections is, I think, also what makes us people who are capable of ruling a nation. Even though that may not be me personally, it still means that I'm coming from a bloodline, from a tribe who can. I will have to show that I am capable of using what I have at my disposal and in reaching my goal, and do this in an honorable and fashionable way. I think asking you for an assist in the form of a letter to whoever you can is not beyond that.
Where do you plan on entering England?
What bridges do we have available?
Miss Whisper was going to send me a note on the cairns that are available. I think it would be smart to enter in a place where that's close to one of the cairns, but not in it, of course, because I guess that would be problematic.
I'll tell you what. I will try and make arrangements for you to have a safe arrival. You all can enter, even Mr. Cosmo.
Maeve will smile appreciatively.
However, that's might take a little while. However, from there, you will be on your own.
I understand.
Maeve will
you.
reach over to pat Sin on the shoulder. Think of it this way. You're not just a silver thing, you're also a Ragabash, and part of that is to be able to assess the situation that you are going into and that your pack is going into. So assessing what there is that you need to address and finding clever ways to address it, it just proves you that much more. This is the roundabout way, but asking for help, especially when you're a Ragabash, is using your resources.
I don't see this as a bad thing. Thank you very much, Monica Raya. If there's anything that I can do in return, you know you would have but to ask.
Yes, I do. There is something I would request of you if you were actually going there.
Yes.
How's Osterhal said to have fallen? This is not actually the case properly. Charges have been levied against the house.
I see. So,
If you can, and if you're able, I would request that you look deeper into the charges levied against Osterhal and bring back any information. This information is tribal and as such confidential.
of course.
And I'd like you to bring this to me first. And if possible, please don't let the Shadow Lords know of it, even Mr. Cosma.
About the house, or?
About what I've just requested,
Of course.
and about what you may discover.
Of course, Monica Raya.
Excellent. And he'll turn his face towards Maeve, and he'll put his hands together and kind of lower his chin on his hands.
Oh, she has been like tactically looking at her hands for that last bit, the I'm not listening face. So once he breaks to look at her, she'll look up again.
Miss Macpheon,
Yes, Raya.
this is some delicious pizza. We are enjoying the pizza. Understood?
Of course, Morning Kill, Raya.
Excellent. Wouldn't want to hear anything else now, would we?
Of course not.
Fantastic. And he'll like give you that final stare and then he gets back to taking another slice of his pizza.
Nope, she gets this part. She is carrying on with her food quite as if not a word was said.
Are there any other questions or requests you might have?
No, but I can see that a crow is heading away with my pizza. So I will go after my pizza for a moment.
Abandoned.
I approve this.
So it's all timing. Well then.
This crow is now after my chocolate chip cookie. I'm afraid that I will have to leave you now, Morning Kilraya.
No.
I hope you enjoyed the picnic.
We appreciate the time you've given us, Raph.
Ah, yes. Oh, Cinna, before you leave, good job gaining Laughing Shadow's approval.
Blink?
That's all.
Looks at Senna.
Back, drugs. I didn't know that that would be the case. I just did what was expected, and then,
You mean like that time he came and like tore off our door?
yeah.
What? You know, you're gonna have to tell me what happened. Someone's gonna have to tell me what happened.
Okay, I can tell you now.
Please?
Okay. I was actually just making coffee, I believe. He knocked on the door, and I wasn't fast enough at the door, so he decided to break into the door. Then told me that I was going to learn how to hunt. It wasn't that bad. It was just following a track that he laid out for me. That was it. I could do that. Easy peasy. Then after that, I had to find him, which was a bit harder, but doable. All the while, Kotori was there, which was not bad or anything. Like, I was just, yeah, Kotori was there. He was there. They were talking. I was doing the things that he asked me to do. And then Albert came along, and for one reason or another, Kotori's +1 came out. And it started to look bad as we all were respectful to him. But for some reason he zoned in on Albert, and he was going, I don't know what he was going to do, but Loving Shadow kind of stepped in to protect Albert, and I was like, well, I am a Silverfang, and Albert has not necessarily done anything wrong as far as I could see right now, so I felt that being the older cub, it was my duty to protect him as well, so I stepped in, still with respect, but I did show that I was basically Albert's alpha, at least for that time. I don't know. And apparently that was enough for, well, Kotori's +1 to step aside, or to not pursue Albert at least. And then Laughing Shadow redirected him, and we could go. I don't really think I did anything weird or so. Apparently I did. That's really all that happened.
Well, I'm glad that you did well by his standards, at least.
Yes, but if that's everything that I need to do to impress people, then I guess the entire sept would be impressed with me by now, and clearly that's not the case.
Well,
You...
perhaps. No, I'll let you figure it out yourself.
If you address the situation as someone like Katori or Laughing Shadow would address it, with their roots being what they are, instead of addressing it like one of us would, doing something like claiming a packmate and standing up for him.
Yeah,
That's
maybe that's the case. Maybe he's just impressed by the fact that I made him change into Homid.
made him what?
Well, I didn't necessarily made him change into Homid, but I did have to. He asked him what shape I wanted to hunt, and High Ban was still active at that time, so I kind of pointed out to him that I could not go into any shape, whether I desired it or not, other than the shape I was in at that point, because the High Ban was active. And he was in his lupus form, so he switched to Homid at that point. I'm not quite sure. That's actually why I thought he would be anything but impressed.
Sounds like a good ragabashing. I don't see why he wouldn't appreciate it as such.
Well,
I guess it depends on his temper.
Exactly. Oh, but that's basically the story in short. Like, it's really everything I have to say about it. Don't know how much Albert has to say about it.
Shrug.
But I'm glad that he appreciated me.
I'm kind of proud of you for standing up for Albert, so all in all, I'd say you did good.
Someone needs to do it. It's like that guy walks into everything. If no one is from time to time just pulling him by the tail and smacking him on the head or standing up for him when needed.
Come
Like,
on.
honestly, if there's one person that needs guidance, oh boy.
One is a cub, because one is still learning.
It's true.
I guess.
And Morning Kill will silently remember in his head his own days as a cub.
Oh boy.
Well, if you all do not mind, I should probably excuse myself back to the grounds, as it were.
Yeah. There's some things to do as well. But I'll make sure I clean everything up here. You go on it.
Would you like me to get any of it? I can carry some of it back.
Hey, if you'd like to take some leftovers,
I would.
take it. The rest I'm going to bring to the Bonars anyway.
Okay. So maybe we'll pick up a bit of this and that. Not necessarily trying to pick choicey bits or anything, just like a hot dog, a slice of pizza, that last hero that didn't get eaten. And throw him in a paper bag and nod as she stands. And with that, Morning Kill Raya, she'll kind of dip into a faint curtsy. It's kind of weird to go full ham out in public, but a mild curtsy, and unless he's going to gesture her to stop, she'll probably turn to head back towards the park.
Morning Kill look towards Cinna and say, Snow picnic.
Is that bad?
Might not have been. He'll stand up and with a little smirk on his face, he'll walk back to the museum.
Cinna will He'll actually smile, big grin, then looks at the rest, start to gather all the leftover food, make sure that the fire is, well, at least out enough. Then realizes that the blankets are still lying there. Damn it. And we'll fold them, make sure that she drops the food off at the bone gnawers first, and then go back to the museum to deliver the blankets. And I think with that we can actually end the scene.
All right. So with everyone going their separate ways, thank you players for playing. Thank you ST for STing. Thank you watchers